Good morning. So I wrote an article on how I quit smoking without suffering. That's the name of it. How I quit smoking without suffering. And I thought I would share it here in case people who are trying to quit are feeling like they need some input. And so maybe they searched for videos on how to quit smoking. So I'm just going to read this article, and I hope that it can help even one person, because it worked for me and I quit without suffering, and it's been 10 months and I'm great. I don't have triggers like at all. So here we go. I'm writing this for people considering quitting smoking cigarettes but feel anxious, overwhelmed, or frustrated by the fact that they do not know how, and there are a lot of gimmicks. Nobody wants to fail at something this important. I started smoking when I was 14 and I quit when I was 50 years old. Had I known how easy it actually was, at least for me, I would have quit decades ago. For whatever reason, society taught me that quitting smoking was the hardest thing in the world and was equated to quitting heroin. Studies showed that it was such a severe addiction and quitting would involve great suffering and feeling deprived. The studies were and are wrong. As I sit here writing this, eating some rice and steak strips, I have no anxiety about how I'll feel when I'm finished eating. I'll simply take a nice deep breath and I'll feel satisfied. I no longer need nicotine simply because I finished some food, which is great. Many times as a smoker, I ate food simply to have a cigarette, and I can think of hundreds of times that I did that, or I would get a drink so that my cigarette would taste better. Driving my car required at least 2 cigarettes, one on the way into town and one after I finished all my errands, because after all, I deserve a reward. Nicotine is not a reward. Breathing oxygen is. A couple of years ago, I noticed I was having trouble breathing when I would go up and down the stairs. As a pretty skinny lady who's relatively healthy, I didn't think I should be out of breath from just going up the stairs. As a kid, I was a fast runner. As someone with severe ADHD, running outside was one of the best things I could do. To realize that I had ruined my body and my lungs and my ability to run, or at least breathe, I knew it was time to quit. But how do I go about doing that without failing? How do I quit without being one of those people who constantly try to quit and fail, starting up again? How do I quit and not fail or feel deprived? I urge you to do what I did, which was to find the things that I thought would help me and use those. What works for you and I may not work for the next person. I encourage you to find your perfect quit plan and document it. All right, what worked for me? A combination. 1. The Easy Way to Quit Smoking by Alan Carr, available as a book or an audiobook, which helped with unbrainwashing myself. I'll give you some examples later. Hypnosis. Look, I know a lot of people are afraid of hypnosis. They think they're going to act like a chicken, and that is not the hypnosis I am talking about. I have found sleep hypnosis as well as quitting smoking hypnosis, and you just listen as you go to sleep. They help you unwind and calm into a nice sleep, and then they give messages to your subconscious about quitting smoking. I did this for about 2 years, and it really helped when I finally quit and left it all behind me. I don't think most people need 2 years. I'm just a lot extra. 3. Honesty. Start referring to smoking or stepping out as going to get a hit of nicotine, my drug. Because that's what it is, and you are addicted to a drug called nicotine. It's time to stop pretending and face this monster head on. Prepare for the quit. Stock up on puzzles, games, fidget toys, and those books you've been planning to read, coloring stuff, word searches, etc. You need to provide yourself with enough activities for your hands and your mind for a couple of days and, if helpful, weeks. As you gather these things, I want you to find a box or a basket and make it into a gift. Make it really pretty and desirable, and don't open any of it. This is your quit basket, and you are not allowed to open any of them until you've smoked your last cigarette. Period. 5. To replace or not to replace. When you quit, you will not replace with vaping, food, or other for cigarettes or other substances, with one exception for cannabis. Some people who smoke cannabis are able to use that to get over the initial triggers to smoke for the first couple of weeks, such as the after-dinner cigarette. I do recommend this for current weed smokers, as it seems helpful and calming for people going through an anxious and tricky time. However, we will not alter our usual food and meal routines, nor switch to vaping or other drugs. Sticking to mealtime routines will aid your body as it goes through withdrawal, cleansing, and adjusting. Hydrate frequently and more often than usual, at least for the first week. You're going to love this one. 6. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Yeah. It seems like we spend our lives trying to make ourselves comfortable and to avoid being uncomfortable at all costs, which of course makes sense. However, in the context of quitting smoking, I will need you to make peace with your discomfort. That discomfort is part of this process, so you can fight it or you can welcome it, because it's coming. Sorry. 7. Start a journal. You don't have to share this with anybody. In fact, you can throw it out when you're done if you want. A journal can be a computer document, a phone app, email, a physical notebook, or whatever you're comfortable with. Start tracking your thoughts about your desire to quit and why you'd like to quit. What is the end goal for you? If the end goal is that you want to be able to run through the woods again and breathe like you used to, that's a wonderful goal. I suggest these reasons are for you, not your kids or your husband, because that can cause damage if you do slip. Instead, focus this as your desire and your choice. Do this one thing just for you. Trust me, everyone who loves you will be so happy and proud of you. All right, number 8. Telling everybody the news. Can I recommend that you keep it quiet? And this is why. The minute I told my mom years ago that I was going to quit smoking, she started hounding me, nagging me, and sending me helpful articles, which only caused me more anxiety, which led to me not wanting to quit at all anymore. I have a rebellious personality, especially when it comes to my mom. I suggest you avoid this to avoid stressing yourself out and delaying your own freedom. I waited about 2 weeks to a month to tell people. It doesn't have to be a big deal, and it's totally up to you. 9. Don't be a quitting Karen. Not one smoker wants to be lectured, judged, or nagged about how they should quit smoking, and everybody knows that. But when we do finally successfully quit, and we did it in such a way that we didn't suffer, it is really hard not to tell everybody. Resist the urge to tell every smoker you see, and instead let your people know that you did quit, and if anyone ever wants to, you'd be happy to share some tips. Just leave them alone. Nobody has ever successfully quit because somebody nagged them. Not once. Moving on. 10. Be kind to yourself. I want you to intentionally talk to yourself with only positive and loving phrases, and this is why. I'm going to need you to pay attention. The body believes what it is told. I'm going to say that again because it's true and it's scientifically proven. Your body believes whatever you say to it. If I keep whining and saying, I don't feel well, I think I'm getting sick, and I repeat that all day for a few days, guess what'll happen? I'm going to be sick. Yeah. If I tell myself that I feel great and I can feel good energy radiating out of me like sunshine, guess what? It's going to be a good day. Now, unless somebody puts their germ upon me, I'm gonna be good. Okay, if you hear yourself say, I'm so stupid, I want you to physically go to a mirror, look yourself in the eye holes, and compliment yourself 3 times, sincerely, uncomfortably, but sincerely, and you will be uncomfortable the first probably 20 times you do this. And then you'll get used to it, and you'll start smiling at yourself and giving yourself snaps and stuff because you'll start to appreciate that. It is so uncomfortable at first. I apologize for that. You're going to get through it. I believe in you. All right, number 11. Slips, falls, and getting up again. It can happen, and it may happen, but don't give yourself permission to break down and smoke. Fight through it because you are strong enough to do this. If you fall walking home, you don't lay there and sulk forever. You get up, brush yourself off, and go home. You may be upset, hurt, embarrassed, and pissed off, but you would go home. If you quit and slip and smoke, simply get back up, brush off the dirt, and keep quitting. Do not let the little or big monster win. And once you read or listen to Alan Carr's The Easy Way to Quit Smoking, you'll know what I'm talking about with the little and big monster reference. Because you are stronger than those monsters, either way. 12. Solutions. For me to drive without being triggered, because people test my patience and I have ADHD, I found that a certain type of pretzel eases my anxiety, and it's about the width and size of a cigarette between my fingers. So if you have the hand-to-mouth problem, find your version of the pretzel solution and have that ready. I don't eat a lot of them, just munch a few when I would have smoked before, or hold one between my fingers, especially those first few times out. At first, I suggest 1 to 2 quick errands and straight home. Ease into it. Lean on your people for support and emotional backup. If you don't have people, maybe you can chat with AI or with yourself. As a Gemini, I'd be doing this all the time. Thank you. Because I want good advice. Thanks. Find your best support system and lean on them when you need to. Boom. 13. Triggers. If you can avoid the people, places, and things which you associate with smoking cigarettes, I would urge you to avoid them at first. Over time, test yourself by going outside when coworkers are smoking or a friend and see what the smell does. Does it invite or offend? In my case, both. It was a familiar smell, but like, ew, it was real gross, you guys. Like, I'm offended at myself. So again, up to you in your own time and whatever you're comfortable with, but be careful. Support. If you are on social media, Facebook has numerous groups for support for this. You'll find quitting smoking groups, and you'll also find Alan Carr's The Easy Way to Quit Smoking groups that you can join. All of the members just support each other on their quitting journeys. I highly recommend that you join a support group. Resources. The Easy Way to Quit Smoking is available on a website called alancarr.com, ALLENCARR.com. And I think out of all my resources, that's going to be the best one for you guys. There's also waytoquit.org. The Mayo Clinic has a lot of quitting information on it. Quitassist.com. And then sleep hypnosis, I will try to share the links. You can also go to Holly B. Hansen on YouTube and look at my playlists, and you'll find sleep and sleep hypnosis playlists that are public there. And you should be able to. But there's a guy named Joseph Clough, Clough, who is a hypnotherapist and international speaker, and he does these sort of really relaxing sleep things that help you just go to sleep and just relax. It's really nice. So I hope this helps you guys. As we speak, today is March 8th. I was 10 months as of yesterday. So my birthday month, May 7th is going to be my 1 year, and I'm going to be really psyched. But it's mostly me celebrating because I did it for me. And I think you should do it for you too. And I can't tell you how thrilled I am with myself. I've started working out again. I can do jumping jacks and start, just doing my old workouts. And it feels great. And pretty soon I'll probably try singing again and just see how my voice is, because I bet it's better. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can email me, ladyholly33@Yahoo, super easy email address. And I'd be more than willing to help share any of the information, or if you have questions, I'm an open book. So I hope this helps, And if you have friends that are trying to quit, please send this to them. I know I kind of talk a lot, but I feel like I provided a chunk of information that might be useful for people. So, peace.